welcome to AfterBuzz TV's the first ever episode of Teen Mom, Young and Pregnant just aired. So I am here, McKenzie, Fayne, to do this review and after show with you guys. We have the first episode and the second episode. They kind of showed this as one big 2-hour event, but they split it up. So the first episode is named 3+2. The second one is Mutual Place. Now, we're going to get into it, but first of all, I'm your host, McKenzie Fayne. We're going to be talking everything about this new season 2 of Teen Mom, Young and Pregnant. Now, we added 2 new girls to this season, and we lost a girl. So, as most of you probably know, Lexi was not on this season. Now, Lexi is the one who was dating Kayla. She had her little son, Tobias. And I wanted to start out with this because it was really shocking to me that she just wasn't on the show. Now, I did a little bit of research, and it appears that Lexi didn't quit or anything from the show. She didn't leave on her own. She was fired, and she was, in fact, very shocked when she heard the news. They kind of just started without her. They didn't renew it. They didn't talk to her about it. And the rumor is that her story just wasn't good enough. There was really not enough drama. There wasn't enough for them to go off of. Which makes a little bit of sense due to the 2 girls that we just added to this series, Kiaya and Rachel. I mean, these girls have so much going on in their lives that I think adding these 2 and taking away Lexi, for the sake of drama, does make sense. So let's dive right in. If you're new to this series of AfterBuzz here with the Teen Mom franchise, I'm going to go over every section of the girls in the episode. Usually it's just one episode. And I'll break it down, kind of give you a little recap, and give you my thoughts. So now, I love to interact with the fans. So if you guys are out there and you have thoughts on what, my comments, or you want to just continue the conversation, be my guest, comment, like, subscribe. I'm all ears, and I love to hear what you guys think. So definitely do that. Also, check out our other AfterBuzz shows. Here at AfterBuzz, we have reality channel, we have the drama channel, and so on and so forth. So check us out. So many shows that we cover. I know you guys will have a lot to just lose yourselves in YouTube. So now we start off with Kiaya. Kiaya is this young girl who has this girlfriend named Tiaza. I think that's how she was pronouncing it. Tiaza's her girlfriend. Tiaza cheated on her. So now she got pregnant with another guy, or, she kind of had a one-night stand, or kind of dated a little bit, this guy named Izaiah. Now, Tiaza, it's going to take me a minute to get used to these names, guys, seriously. So Tiaza cheated on Kiaya a couple days, like 3 days before her dad died, or 3 days after her dad died, something around that. But Kiaya was super vulnerable. She didn't feel like she was wanted. She was cheated on, and she was just really in this vulnerable, rough spot. So she went out, she got together with Izaiah, and they got pregnant. Now, Izaiah isn't really this, top-notch guy. He's young, obviously, too, and he's in jail right now. So that's what we know about him. And she does get back with Tiaza. Gosh, it's so hard, you guys. Tiaza, there's just so many names. And, they work through everything. Now, another thing to mention is that when she did get pregnant and she did meet Izaiah's family and mom, the mom was pretty much like, hey, here's $400, go get an abortion. So I think that really threw her off, and we'll learn a little bit more about that relationship as it goes on. But, I mean, Kiaya's a really cute, young, beautiful girl. She's pregnant with a little boy, and she's back with her girlfriend who had cheated on her, Tiaza, but they seem to have a pretty good relationship. I don't know if it's all for cameras. I know we'll keep uncovering and seeing what their relationship really is like. But she's a nail tech. She's just trying to make some money to save up for this baby. So to me that she did say to one of her friends was that her innocence is just gone. And, you know, it was really sad that she said that, but it is so true. And for someone that young to come to that conclusion of, you know, that's it. My innocence is gone. I have to grow up because I need to take care of an innocent little thing, a little baby, was just, it was great, heartbreaking, and, you know, mature, and all those different things. The fact that she came to that realization that, you know, pretty much it. For, you know, I can't be stupid anymore. My innocence. I can't just be dumb. I need to be here and present. So now Xavier, like I said, he's in jail, but his mom wants to have a relationship with the baby now that she's farther along and she's actually keeping the baby. So she was going through a lot, you know, with Xavier at the time when she got pregnant, and kind of working through things with him. And I just think, well, not that I think this, I was going to say, Kaya's mom, who seems like a very level-headed person, comes up with this, you know, story of, like, I think that she was going through a lot at that time. She, you know, finds out her son is probably going to jail or whatever, getting into bad things clearly, and now he got this random girl pregnant. Not really exciting for this mom. Did she need to say, go have an abortion? Absolutely not. But, you know, so her mom, Kaya's mom, is very, you know, open and honest, and I think she's very level-headed at a lot of the time. She wants her to meet with Xavier's mom and kind of have a relationship with her, get things out in the open. And, yeah, so they kind of meet up, have this lunch. Kaya's mom comes, and they sit down. Now, Kaya is just completely, like, slumped in her chair, doesn't, like, give a crap about being there. She had said it to her friends previously. She just doesn't care. And she comes, and Xavier's mom's trying to be, you know, open and, hey, I wanted to give you a hug, and really actually pretty nice at first. And Kaya was just like, no, not having it. She tries to talk, Xavier's mom, and it just really was not a good scene. On Kaya's part, to be honest. I just think she was kind of being a little brat, sitting there like, you're pregnant, you're having a baby. Maybe Xavier's mom should have started with, hey, I'm really sorry about what I did or what I said. But as it gets going, it gets really heated, and there's this really big, like, blowout, pretty much fist fight between Kaya and Xavier's mom. And it was really actually pretty awful, the whole entire thing. But now, one thing I will add is that Kaya's mom said something about Xavier's mom putting her hands on Kaya, a pregnant girl, or whatever it was, this young girl. And if that's the case, then, yeah, I do see a reason for her to be super upset. Not only, but it's really awful that how Kaya's acting, I really do think. Like, there's a way for her to be a little bit more mature about it. And getting her point across, because afterwards she's just saying, you know, I tried to tell my side of the story, but really, like, no, you didn't. I don't think she did. I think she did a very poor job with the whole situation. She knew what it was like. She knew what was going to happen, and it was just a big, huge mess. So right there in that situation, I really do see Kaya's immaturity level, you know, or her maturity level at that, which is not very high. And I wasn't really impressed with it. Although, obviously, this grown woman who clearly made her feel awful, maybe put her hands on her, making her feel this way, is completely out of line, yelling back at her. So, overall, it was a really awful situation. So, we move on to Tiesa, who is Kaya's girlfriend. And she's young. I mean, she's young. She's still in high school, like a junior in high school, about to be a senior, and Kaya's already out of high school, having a baby. I don't know if Kaya graduated. I think she might have. So, you know, Tiesa realizes how big of a deal it is to have a baby, but Kaya really doesn't think she understands, and they kind of have some discrepancies about that. They find out that she's having a boy. Kaya's having a boy. And Tiesa wants to move in with her. and they kind of bring it up to her mom, and it's this whole big thing. So that's a real, like, really short recap of those 2 episodes and introducing this new girl. So it's really difficult to kind of throw this all in your faces, and I totally get that. But that's like a little bit of a recap of what I think of her, and it'll progress as the season goes on. I mean, there is a lot to uncover. I don't know her at all. I don't know about you guys, but this is the first time I'm kind of seeing her. But I really do think she's really cute, and I'm really excited to see her story unravel. Somebody that we do know more about is Ashley. We did see her on the last season of Teen Mom Young and Pregnant, the first season. She's dating this guy, Bar. They had a lot of falling outs last season with some domestic violence charges and things like that, or issues, and they have this 1.5-year-old daughter named Holly. I mean, Ashley really is just such a great role model to young girls, specifically that are pregnant or have a child, because I mean, she's going to school to be a medical assistant. She clearly is a great mom to Holly. You know, she's working on her relationship with her dad, with Holly's dad, and trying to make that work. You know, there's a lot of things you could say about the relationship she should have left, but she's trying, and that's where we're at, so that's what we'll stick with. She plans on to move in with Bar, but he hasn't gotten his GED yet. He's kind of like, seems like a little bit of a slacker. She talks to her sister about it a lot, and you know, it's really difficult for her. I don't think she wants to keep bugging him. I think she's kind of over it. She's like, I just kind of need to see what he does now. And I totally get that. The poor girl, you know, it's like, I have to worry about myself. I'm trying to go to school. I'm trying to be a good mother. And now she has to worry about him on top of it. So I don't know if moving in with him is going to make anything better or worse in the situation, but I guess we'll see. Holly's christening is coming up, and Bar didn't go to her first birthday party because that was around the time when they had the domestic violence charges going on, and so her family has not seen him, you know, her family or friends, since this. Now, they did talk about, Bar and Ashley talked about how they don't really see each other much. They see each other for a little bit of time during the week, and it's not much at all. So it does make sense that, you know, he has not seen or been around her family or friends since, you know, a very long time. So this christening is coming up, and Bar's going to be seeing these people for the first time and going into her church, Ashley's church, where I'm pretty sure that her mother is the pastor. I had spoken last season, to people, you know, just in general, that it was really odd that her behavior, how her behavior was, and being a pastor just didn't add up to me. But we'll see how she does this season. Her mom seems a lot more chill about the idea of seeing Bar than I would think. And she was like, you know, we'll just take it as it is, and hopefully he's doing good, and that's it. So I can't wait to see that christening, because, you know, we did see Bar's birthday party last time with, you know, last season with his mom, and there's just blowouts. So yeah, that should be a good one to watch. We move on to Kayla, who, she was one who really shocked me. Last season, she had on and off again issues with her boyfriend and father of her young son, Izaiah, sorry. And she was just hung up on this guy, and he was just a total loser. So now she's dating this guy, Luke, who is at a 2-year college playing basketball. They've been dating for 6 months, and her and Izaiah just moved in together. Now, I think this was around the time where her mom kicked her out of her house, cut off pretty much everything, you know, credit cards, paying her insurance on her car, and all these different things that her mom was helping. And her mom was helping a lot, if you watch season 1. So she really did cut her off, which I think, like, she needed, because she kind of just walked all over her mom. Now, Luke is at a school playing basketball, and you know, he's at this stage where he's at a 2-year college, and he wants to move to a 4-year college and move up in this, you know, in this sport. And so there's recruiters coming, and it's that time, and he's talking to his coach. He doesn't really know where he's going to go, But Kayla seems really, really supportive about this. She seems like she's, ready to do what she can for him and move if he wants him to or whatever. She just seems very open. The one thing is they've only been together for 6 months and they're now, living together. So it is still super new for them. But he seems like a really good guy. Someone that's not a very good guy. We see a little bit of glimpse of Stepan, and he's just, honestly, this guy is just a piece because, he's talking to his friends and he's like trying to justify the fact that he's not seen or spoken to Kayla about Izaiah or seen Izaiah, and he's just saying, I'm not going to jump through 10 different windows to get 20 minutes with him. And his friend's just like, yeah, you do. That's what you should be doing. This is your kid. Your kid's going to know if you jump through all those hoops just to get those 20 minutes with him. And, I'm glad that he has a friend like that. I hope that he can just kind of keep knocking sense into him because this poor boy, he's going to grow up with this dad if he doesn't get it. Hopefully it's just immaturity, but we'll see. I thought it was really sweet when Kayla takes Izaiah to the basketball game to watch Luke, and Luke's mom is there, and she just loves Kayla, you can tell, and loves the baby. Picks Izaiah up, calls him her grandbaby, and she feels so welcome, and they have this great conversation where Kayla talks about being so supportive and whatever he wants, and it's fine. If he, wants to pick a school that's far, we don't know if we'll go with him, but we'll still support him. So, they seem to be on such great terms and the whole family, and it's really working out. I really wonder about her mom, and I hope we get to see her. But at the end of her segment, Kayla takes a pregnancy test. She had been feeling sick, and she said it a couple times throughout the couple episodes. And she takes it while Luke's away at basketball practice, and she's sitting in the bathroom, and she's pregnant. And she says to Izaiah, just waddling around the room, okay, I guess mommy's going to have another baby. So that was the cliffhanger that they left us at in the second episode with Kayla. So she's pregnant, which I didn't know, and I saw from social media. But it was still shocking to see that on the episode. Now we get into Brianna, who was also on the last season of Teen Mom Young and Pregnant. She has her son Brayson, who is missing his left hand and forearm. Doesn't seem to hold the kid down or anything. So he's a little trooper. She got fired from her job. Money is super tight. Living with her mom. They just moved across the country, and they're dealing with a lot. But the biggest issue for her is she's trying to find a babysitter. That's the only reason she got fired from her job, is that she couldn't rely on anybody. There was just nobody to help her out. So she finally finds a babysitter through a new coworker, and it's this lady, Deborah, who has a husband and a 15-year-old, and she's able to watch him on the weekends. What I am wondering is, when we have see this interaction, how much money are they paying her? Because Brianna had gotten done saying that she gets paid $12 an hour, and a lot of the babysitters are asking for $10 an hour, so essentially she'd be working for $2 an hour, which, what is that really doing? Nothing. One of the most shocking things that we did see was Danai had his top surgery done. Her ex-boyfriend, who is trans and transitioning into a male, had his top surgery completed, and it's a great thing, but what was surprising to me, very surprising, was that Brianna was so shook about this whole thing, seeing it, and she was really happy for him. Don't get me wrong, she kept saying it, she was very happy for him, but it just brought up a lot of emotions for her for some reason. And we do know that she had a boyfriend in between Danai, and now, but she decides to reach out to him, which was just so shocking to me. And even more shocking when she FaceTimes him. I just didn't understand. But they have this conversation. Danai, is just this kind of macho guy, yeah, I'm so sorry, apologizes. And to me, all I thought that she wanted was an apology, but then, she gets off the phone with him and talks to her sister, and she was really upset that she even talked to him. She didn't want to. She wish that she didn't, and she felt like she tiptoed around him, which was so true. I mean, it just was like hard. Why did you even call? But I think that I think the deep down reason why she did was that, you know, she saw that he was doing what he wants, like getting better in life, achieving his goals, and she feels like she's stuck in this place, and she's looking for a babysitter, and she can't keep a job, and she's living with her mom, and they don't know how they're going to pay their bills. And I just think she's in this rough place, and all she sees on social media is him doing so great and doing this amazing thing for himself. So I just think it kind of just, you know, crushed her a little bit. I don't think that phone call did much for her, as she said herself. But you know, we'll get more into that in the coming season or episodes and see what comes of it. If Danai comes back, I know Danai has a girlfriend. I'm really wondering about that. I'm sure you guys are too, especially what the girlfriend said about this call and everything. So now the last person and the second girl and last girl to be added to this season is Rachel. Rachel is a young girl who has an older sister that's 19, who has a 10-month-old. I guess she's a party girl. There's gonna be some drama between them. We see in the upcoming season. So Rachel doesn't know who the father to her baby is, her unborn baby. Now it could be in the first episode. I mean, it could be Drew, her ex-boyfriend, or it could be Drew's best friend, Jacob. We just really don't know. She ends up getting a better idea of when her due date is, and it kind of confirms that it is Drew that is the father, but I guess we really just don't know. But she seems pretty sure after a little while. So, you know, Drew wants a DNA test, but I mean, I don't think that's bad of him wanting. And she says at one point, he shouldn't have knocked me up if he wasn't going to step up. But it's like, I mean, you shouldn't have slept with him if you didn't think that you could get pregnant. Like, it's like there's so many, you know, ways you could run into that or interpret that, or, you know, say it in a different way. Her mother, Rachel's mother, used to struggle with addiction, but, you know, she's great and positive, throws this great baby shower for her, really, really supportive. She says she doesn't, so Rachel says she doesn't want to be with somebody that's too nice. She wants to have to argue in a relationship, which to me just showed her maturity level, which again isn't very high. That's not something you strive for or wish for or think about in a relationship. Now Jacob comes back into the picture, and he's just, you know, ready and willing to be a part of this baby's life. Kind of just dopes around, kind of talking, like doesn't really, not this like stand-up guy that's like ready to be there for the rescue and, you know, to the rescue. But I think she really has like no choice because Drew really doesn't care. You know, work's more important to him. He blocked her number. And yeah, so she has Jacob. He's ready to be there, and I guess we'll see. I don't really know. I don't know too much about these characters. That's why it's so hard. But, you know, all the things that we saw in these 2 episodes are just going to be building blocks for what's to come. So we'll see. I don't really get the best vibe from Jacob. I will say that. But yes, so that was our quick but very detailed recap of these first 2 episodes. I know that was short and a lot to throw at you guys, but there are 2 episodes, and next week we will have 1 episode to cover, and there will be a lot more to go over because, again, we'll know these girls a little bit more, especially these 2 new girls. Not much to go over these first episodes besides everything that I obviously said. So I'm interested to see how these girls play out and how their lives unravel from here. Also, all the drama that clearly is going to come, because if you guys watch the recaps or the telling of the season, you know, on this season, a lot of drama comes up. But on the next, I mean, we see Brayson being potty trained, Brianna meets someone new, we deal with the Kayla pregnancy situation, maybe her telling her mom, maybe her telling Luke. So there's a lot of great things to be shown. And I'm really excited for this season. I thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on and on about these new girls. along with the 3 from last season. So thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back here next week to talk about the 3rd episode of Teen Mom, Young and Pregnant. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.